Week 6 statement, biggest statement any player, any unit, any team, anything, any coach, anyone. All the way back to Thursday night, Miles. I can't even remember who played on Thursday night. Oh, Chiefs, Broncos. Go.
Yes. Yeah. I'll stick with Sunday at least at first here. And I'll go with the Browns defense, man, because wow, what an impressive performance by that unit coordinated by Jim Schwartz. You're starting PJ Walker at quarterback on the other side, guy that just basically got to you 6 weeks ago or so. And, you know, he's a guy that's played in the league a little bit, but you knew if the Browns are going to have any chance at winning that game, then the Jim Schwartz defense was going to have to show up and show out. And by golly, did they ever do that? I mean, this has been clearly the league's best defense this year. And to hold the 49ers to their lowest yardage output ever under Kyle Shanahan, that says a lot about what that unit is doing. Jim Schwartz had a lot of success against Kyle Shanahan, you know, when they have been going against each other. Apparently now 9-1 against Kyle Shanahan coached offenses, whether that's either one of those guys or head coach or coordinator. So big shout out to Jim Schwartz for my Browns upsetting the 49ers this week.
It's almost to the level of the next time a team in the NFC West is looking for a head coach, why aren't you calling Schwartz?
Because you need
to compete with Shanahan twice a year. Well, I know, but still. And I know that contradicts what I said earlier in the show about having an offensive head coach. But if you've got a defensive coach that has cracked the code on Kyle Shanahan, who prides himself on cracking the code on everyone else, you got something. You got somebody smarter than Kyle Shanahan right there. At a minimum, if he's looking for another defensive coordinator job, hire him on an NFC West team. All right, first one for me. And I'm on board. I'm influenced by Chris Sims. Tyreek Hill, big statement on Sunday. Between the catches and the yards and the impact and the touchdown and the selfie that was clearly coordinated with the guy that was there coincidentally taping the play and handing him the phone so he could do the flip. We are wired to believe that the MVP comes from the quarterback position for one of the two teams that ends up with the top seed. That's the way it's played out in recent years, since Adrian Peterson back in 2012. Tyreek Hill could be the first receiver ever to be the MVP. He's on track to have 2,300 plus receiving yards. And the default will be Tua. And, you know, Tua is the guy everyone likes. Tyreek is the guy that's got the bad history. He had the incident a few years ago that was kind of weird, and then it kind of just went away. It's going to be fascinating, Miles, to see what the voters do. If the Dolphins end up as the top seed, as they very well might, if Tyreek Hill breaks the all-time receiving yardage record, as he very well might, and if Tua throws for 5,000 yards, as he very well might, where does the MVP voting go? And remember, now you do 5. You don't just carve up your vote halfway. You have to pick a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. Will Tyreek be the NFL's MVP if he keeps this up? You could make a very strong argument that he should be.
Yeah, I mean, and this is what I was talking about earlier in the show. When you talk about scheming for your best players, like the Cowboys aren't necessarily doing with CeeDee Lamb, you know for damn sure every week Mike McDaniel is going to be scheming for Tyreek Hill, and right now it is certainly paying off. My second pick, I'm going to go with the Rams run game for a Sunday statement. It was a weird game in that in the first half, there were just 3 rushing attempts by the Los Angeles Rams. They totaled 5 yards, but they finished with a season high 179 yards on the ground, most of them by Kyren Williams. I mean, it reminded me of the days late in the 2018 season when CJ Anderson just ran the Rams into the number 2 seed with his performances over the last 2 weeks. Just there was a concerted effort for the Rams to get going on the ground. They ran it 8 straight times with design runs, and Matthew Stafford had a 9th straight run to start on a scramble to start the second half there for Los Angeles, and it just turned into a really, really controlling win over the Arizona Cardinals, a division rival. So Rams are scrappy. The Rams are fun. I think the Rams, if they continue to play like this, especially with the run game, could end up in the postseason. But now we see that their top 2 running backs are dealing with injury. We'll see what happens, but certainly their run game made a statement on Sunday.
And if they get to the playoffs, I guarantee you, no one is going to want to play them there. Experience, skill, great players
Aaron
if they're healthy.
Donald.
You're not going to want to cross pass with the Rams in that setting. All right, I'm going to go back to Thursday night. Travis Kelce. And I'm going to extend it all the way through the weekend, up to and including last night. Travis Kelce on Thursday night, 9 targets, 9 catches, 124 yards. Without him, the Chiefs very likely would have lost to the lowly, woeful, pitiful Broncos. Then, Saturday night, there he is, out in the open with Taylor Swift on Saturday Night Live. An unscheduled cameo, last-minute thing, shows up. Everybody goes crazy. Everybody loves Travis Kelce. Then Sunday, MetLife Stadium, he's on the sideline at the Eagles-Jets game. What's he doing there? Well, his brother plays for the Eagles. There he is on that bad ankle, standing there watching the game. And then last night, him and his brother are at the Phillies-Diamondbacks game. This is Travis Kelce's world. The rest of us are just renting space in it. He is the biggest star in the NFL right now, and it does have something to do with the person he's escorting out of the back of that. Boy, you'd think they'd be in a nicer car, although it probably is like bulletproof and you know, I mean, it's you would think that I doubt that was an Uber. That's probably a specially made. Look at that thing. That's like the Beast, I would bet. That's like the thing they take the president in. No one is invading that vehicle, Myles.
It's a Suburban.
All right, one more round for the Week 6 statement draft. Myles, you're up.
I'll just go with the Lions. Look, we started with Dan Campbell in the last segment. That team got to 5-1, and they held Baker Mayfield and that Buccaneers offense to just 6 points. Baker Mayfield had been on fire on third down over the course of the season. Tampa Bay was 2 of 12 on third down in that game. Defense performed great. Got to give Brad Holmes a lot of credit for the way that he has constructed that team now. And you see, man, the Lions, they are true contenders. I give them a lot of credit for what they did.
Jets defense beating the Eagles. And the Eagles had been vulnerable all year, but they were still 5-0. No one had beaten them. The Jets believed how they have turned the corner. Jets fans were abandoning ship not long ago. That Chiefs game that they still lost, that was the moment the clouds parted. They beat the Broncos. They beat the Eagles. 3-3 was best case scenario with Aaron Rodgers. They're 3-3 without Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers is intent on playing, and who knows what the Jets are going to be once they come out of their bye and keep moving forward. But that defense is saving the day for the Jets. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.